Hi everyone, so today's look is a whole lot of fun. It is my first St. Patrick's Day look for this year. Now I know I do have a list of tutorials and videos and reviews I want to do for you guys, so you guys will see that in due time. I always do make room for holiday tutorials. I don't remember honestly what I did for St. Patrick's Day last year. I did Valentine's Day tutorials this year that I was really happy and excited about. And they were basically just a lot of pinks, reds, oranges, happy spring colors. So I wanted to do more happy spring colors. I didn't want to do something that was so obvious or traditional. I just really wanted to make it my own, but of course using the holiday colors that we all get excited about seeing year after year after year. Today I am using the Sugarpill's Heartbreaker Palette to do the eyes, and I've never used this palette before. I showed it in my haul, so I'll link that down bar if you'd like to go ahead and check out that haul. Happy St. Patty's Day. Please don't drink and drive. Enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time. Start on today's look. I have already taken the Avalon Organics Vitamin C Renewal Revitalizing Eye Cream. Now, to get started on making sure that the eyeshadows really pop stick, are vibrant, amazing, I will be taking the Gabriel eye primer in this shade Neutral, and this is just a creamy sort of bone or very pale flesh tone shade. Actually, I'm going to be playing around with the Sugarpill's Heartbreaker Palette. I believe this is one of the newer palettes that came out. I think it came out like a year or so, but it's new to me. Anyways, colors are Velocity, Acid Berry, Mochi, and of course 2AM. I'm going to begin by taking Mochi, which is probably the color I've wanted the most from this whole palette, believe it or not. I'm going to go ahead and take the e.l.f. Mineral Blending Brush and just dab some of that matte eyeshadow onto this. This is actually a really good blending brush for the price and the brand reputation. So just keeping it kind of soft. If you're somebody who wants like a very mapped out crease, you probably want to start off with a nice warm or cool toned neutral before adding color, and then maybe adding this color on top of it. I'm going to go ahead and take the Inglot 351 matte. Looks like this, kind of a Blanc type dupe. And I'm just going to go ahead and place this in the arch of the brow bone. I'm going to take Velocity, this matte Cobalt Blue. This is pretty much a pressed version of Sugarpill's Royal Sugar. I'm just going to dab our brush lightly into that because these are very pigmented colors. You don't want to start packing on the harshness too soon. We're just going to, you know, add a touch and build up. So that's why I'm using a fluffy blender brush, because blending brushes, they do give you a lighter amount of the color versus a packing brush. So that's why they're typically used to blend out and diffuse through the crease. And then I'm just going to blend that out with a touch of Mochi, because this is not exactly a blue holiday. You want visible green. I'm going to go in with Acid Berry, which is a very sour chartreuse, limey green. It even has some silver shimmer in there, so it's kind of a satin color, satin finish, sorry. And I'm just going to go ahead and pack this onto the eyelid, Lit Clearly Liquid Glitter Base, and I'm just going to go ahead and put this on the eyelid as an adhesive. This, what's it called? This is the Lemon Tart Shimmer Size number 3. I absolutely love that Jody does such ferocious colors. As a former bartender, Jody definitely knows what it's like to want to be brash and bold. So I always love to rock her stuff. It's a moneymaker day, and I personally don't even like to go out on big drinking holidays because I think I was always raised to believe St. Patty's Day was kind of dangerous, and that's very well engraved in my brain. I'm going to be taking the Tarte Amazonian Clay waterproof gel liner in black. I absolutely adore this stuff. It's so like smooth and pigmented, and It is overall one of the best gel liners I've used, but you know, I like to change it up. I'm almost out of this. I really can't believe I am almost out of this. I'm kind of more into gel liners these days than liquid liner pens because I feel like they do last longer, not only in your kit wise, but they do last longer on your eyes. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this with my Sephora Bent Angle Liner Brush. The Obsessive Compulsive Cosmetics 100% vegan and cruelty free. This is the pencil in Feathered. I love this eyeliner. And I love that it's made of pretty much like all perfectly good ingredients. Taking the Ole Henriksen All Skin Types Anti-Aging Perfect Truth CC Cream, and absolutely have been adoring this stuff. I know I'm saying this again, but I know Paula's Choice absolutely doesn't like this CC cream because it is sort of a scented CC cream. She basically is getting at the fact that essential oils, although they may be natural, aren't necessarily idyllic for your face. Now, that is true. I mean, you could be allergic, but at the same time, you could also be allergic to anything else. You could be allergic to something that's unfragranted as well. I haven't been able really to find one other than this brand of a CC cream. If you know of a cruelty-free CC cream, or you know it to be cruelty-free, please feel free to go ahead and recommend some for me to try. And take the Tarte Maracuja Creaseless Concealer in Fair. I just have a tiny bit of this stuff left, and then I'll be switching to my Inglot Cream Concealer, but I always like to sort of give everything else a try. And so this might look a little crazy, but I'm just going to go ahead and take my Diamond Tool 957. Now, it works really in anyone's favor to take the same brush they use to apply their foundation. And if you have any cream products that you find are a little stark on your face that really need some good blending, be sure to use the same brush you use as your foundation brush, because they will mix the color appropriately. Let's use this as a cream or mattine or satin style highlighter. So I'm going to be taking the Inglot AMC Under Eye Corrective Illuminator. This is the shade 51. This does have the classic little YSL Touche Cloud pump up. I'm just going to dot that, sort of framing my under eye area, and then just pat that into the high point of the cheekbone. I'm going to be taking the Illamasqua Cream Blusher in the shade Rude. This is absolutely gorgeous on warm skin types. This to me is sort of like a more melony version, or slightly more amped up version of Illamasqua Lover. This is really, really good if you have a hard time dealing with powder blushers, like if they become messed up, if they wear down. Although if you have problems with blushes, I really recommend the Illamasqua ones to begin with, because they really do last all day long. Now, before I set the face, I'm actually going to do the under eye area, and I'm going to be going ahead and taking 2 AM by Sugarpill, and this is the e.l.f. contour brush. And I always end up taking away way too much more eyeshadow than I would like by doing the under eye area first. If I put the concealer on, then it looks kind of like a harsh line. So I kind of wanted to change that up, and we're just going to probably start doing the eyeshadow right after doing the face at the bottom, and just kind of smudge that out. So the eyeshadow on the bottom has a lot more to stick to than just the stiff kohl pencil. It has all the concealer and stuff to stick to. So I'd rather get like a very vibrant smoky eye that way. Don't overblend the green and the purple together, because they aren't on the same side of the color wheel and they will become muddy. So just lightly dab that to connect. Quickly take a makeup remover and sort of wet your fingers and clean them off. And we're just going to take our finger in 1 or 2 swoops and pull that purple up around the edges of the blue. Taking the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes Mascara, I'm going to be touching up the lashes. I love the bent little swoop in the brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and place this in a few coats. Setting powder can make eyelashes look dusty, so we're going to go ahead and set the face now with the Pumpkin and Poppy Oil Absorbing Mineral Veil. We are doing a little bit of back and forth. Unfortunately, you can just take whatever steps I take and put them to your advantage. I'm now going to go ahead and take the Ardell Natural Lashes in number 116s. These are gorgeous little feathery lightweight lashes. The lash glue. Tacky. Press those into the natural lashes. Go ahead and take the Tarte Amazonian Clay waterproof eyeliner, and we're just going to apply this to the upper lash line. In order to reduce any powder, anything like that, or even correct powder mistakes, I like to take Andalou Naturals Fruit Stem Cell Science. This is the Clementine C Plus Illuminating Toner, and spritz this very lightly from a distance on the face. And if you know you have eyeshadows that aren't going to work with that, be sure to go like this. So I'm going to go ahead now and, oops, sorry, wrong brush. I'm going to take the 955 and just be sure that the brush isn't too powdery or dry. And then quickly knock out any harsh contour, blush, or powder once the face has a second to dry, because you don't want to go in when it's, if it is or when it is really wet. I'm now going to go ahead and take the Bite Beauty. This is the natural food grade contour lip liner. Basically has Reservidols of 5 glasses of red wine. This is the shade Cashew, and yes, this is like, I don't know, like the new trend in lip liners is these flat angular contour lip liners, which I think are really cool. These remind me of some brow pencils that came out in the last couple of years, and they just make eyebrows look really natural, so why not do it for lips, right? I'm gonna go ahead and take the Hourglass Femme Rouge Velvet Cream Lipstick. This is from the Velvet Cream line. Everything has like a purpose, name, ingredient list, so this is the Velvet Cream. I'm gonna go ahead and show you this in case you didn't really get to see it in my haul, and that is the packaging. It's very heavy, and this is the shade Grace. This is a nude. This is one of the shades that does not contain carmine. Now, the Hourglass brand did not list this as a vegan product, so I won't be either, but I didn't see any lanolin oil, beeswax, or carmine. So I'm just going to go ahead and take Grace and put it on the lips. Classy. Oh, I love this color. I'm so glad I purchased this. I knew we were a match when I purchased Grace. So that is basically my makeup tutorial. I'm really excited about this. It's a little off the beaten path when it comes to St. Patty's Day looks, but I'm super excited about it. So I usually like to do something a little different than your average lime green or lime green eyeliner. I just want to do something unique. So yeah, I hope to see you guys later, and I'll see you next time.